Julie, tell me about what the theme for this year's show is here at the Cedar Falls Historical Society.
This year's show is Everybody Ought to Have a Maid, and I chose that subject because visitors frequently ask us about the maids who lived in the house, in the Victorian house, and they seem to be quite interested in the subject, and so I decided that that would be an excellent subject to explore this year.
Where did you find information about these people, these women?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have any diaries or personal narratives from the women who served as servants in Cedar Falls, so I relied heavily on the census records and on contemporary newspaper articles, and you can actually find a great deal of information that way. So that was a great resource.
And where did they mostly come from?
They came from a wide variety of places. Some of the young women came in from farms surrounding Cedar Falls. They needed an economic opportunity. They wanted to be paid for things that they weren't being paid for at home. We also have a large Danish population in Cedar Falls, and those newly immigrated women, it was an opportunity for them to learn English and to hone their housekeeping skills. Then, of course, there were plenty of women who came from other states in the United States.
And what was the average age?
Oh, I would say anywhere from 16. It was rare to find someone younger than 16, but some of the women were working into their 70s.
How many servants did the Victorian house have?
The Victorian house had one servant at any given time. There's a maid's quarters upstairs, and I have found no evidence that they had more than one servant at a time.
Now, her role was to also help the woman of the house. Right.
The servants in Cedar Falls did not work in the same way that we imagine servants to have, worked in England, where it's a very hierarchical system, and huge manor houses would have lots and lots of servants. People in Cedar Falls had perhaps one or two servants, and those servants would generally work with the woman of the house to get the tasks done that needed to be done.
And tell me just a little bit about how much were they paid?
Well, they weren't paid a great deal, and what I found very interesting was how their salaries would not stretch very far. If they were looking to purchase clothing, it could take them 6 months to save up enough money just to purchase a dress through like the Montgomery Ward's catalog. So yeah, it wasn't a particularly remunerative occupation.
And let's talk a little bit about, because the show has a lot of modern conveniences that we look at and can't imagine that anybody would use. And I'm thinking of the vacuum cleaners in particular.
Yeah, my personal favorite is the hand-pumped vacuum cleaner. I can't imagine how anybody would have thought that that would have worked very well, but it was apparently an innovation. Carpet sweepers, we've got a number of those on exhibit, and of course the other types of soaps and powders and things like that that were used to keep the house clean. Washboards, all those types of...
Bar soaps from Lye.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so not exactly a healthy occupation.
No, there are a number of these products that have chemicals in them that we would not use today.
How long is this exhibition up?
It'll be up until the middle of December.
Okay, and then I understand that there are a lot of activities. Can people go online to your website and find out about the activities that are taking place or read about them in the Courier?
Yes, they can. Absolutely.
Terrific. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.